Fabulous people, I just got back from Mykonos and we need to talk. I've been traveling to Mykonos for years, so I know every place and every corner of this Greek island. But this year, I noticed things that drastically changed, and so today, I want to share with you my top Mykonos travel tips and Mykonos tips for first-timers that I wish I knew before going to Mykonos in 2024. Now, before we begin this what you should know about Mykonos in 2024 video, please remember to smack that like button. And if you're new to my channel and my vibe, and the vibe of this channel resonates with you, I invite you to subscribe. All right, fabulous people, let's get started. Number one, traffic in Mykonos. Guys, every single year, traffic in Mykonos is just getting more and more and more intense. And that is one of the reasons why I went to Mykonos off-season this year, but even that didn't help. For example, to get from the Psaru beach to Scorpios, which normally takes about 30 minutes, took us over 2 hours. The concierge at our hotel recommended us leaving 45 minutes earlier, so that's what we did, but we just sat in a car for hours, missed our dinner reservation at Scorpios. By the way, thanks so much to the hostess at Scorpios who graciously still allowed us to have the dinner. We didn't have the best table, but it's okay. So guys, this is really something for you to consider, because in July or August, the traffic gets even more insane. As a matter of fact, the concierge at our hotel said that if we were to visit Mykonos in July or August and decided to go from Psaru beach to Scorpios, for example, it would take us over 2 to 3 hours. And with the traffic in June, I'd say we're more looking at 3 to 4 hours. So if you need to get somewhere on time, as most popular places have zero delay policy, and oh yes, they will ask for your credit card during the reservation. So even if you don't show up, they will still charge your card. So I recommend either getting a scooter, because I saw tons of scooters just making their way through the traffic, or the most convenient and fastest way, which is a boat. For example, if we wanted to take a boat to go from the Psaru beach to the Scorpios, it would have taken us 10 to 15 minutes at most. So, lesson learned. Now, after watching this, you're probably wondering when to visit Mykonos to at least to try to avoid the crowds. Now, most locals, including myself, as I travel to Mykonos during many different months of the year, will tell you that one of the best times to travel to Mykonos, if you're trying to avoid the crowds, is mid to the end of May. Most places by the 25th of May will be already open. The weather in Mykonos is going to be excellent, and most summer crowds won't arrive yet. Plus, as a bonus, you will have cheaper accommodation options. So if you are trying to avoid the crowds, mid to the end of May is the best time to visit Mykonos. Now, please keep in mind that 2 most expensive months to do Greece travel and travel to Mykonos, as you've already guessed, are July and August, with August just beating all the records. Of course, Mykonos is the place to be during those 2 months, but if you're a budget cautious traveler, I would avoid Greece during those 2 months. Now, if this is going to be your first time in Mykonos and you just started your research and wondering, is Mykonos expensive? I can tell you with all the certainty, it is fabulous, people. Now, of course, it depends on the beach clubs, restaurants, etc. that you choose, because there are levels to how much money you can spend in Mykonos. But I can assure you it is very challenging to find something economical in that part of Greece. And if you want to enjoy some of the best beach clubs in Mykonos, if they will even have a place for you, the cost for 2 sunbaths in Nammos Beach, for example, is 300 euros or 450 euros for the front row. Now, if you take a ferry, just a 20-minute ferry from Mykonos to the island of Tinos, 2 sunbeds will cost you around 45 euros. Even my favorite island in Greece, Paros, charges way less for their sunbeds. For example, the most posh beach club in Paros, Monastery, will charge you this year, because we don't know what the future holds for Monastery, it will charge you 80 euros for the front row. So that just gives you a comparison how much more expensive Mykonos is compared to other Greek islands. Now let's talk about where to stay in Mykonos, or just Mykonos hotels in general. Of course, every part of Mykonos island is packed with luxury hotels, boutique hotels, apartments, villas, and everything in between. A lot of people who travel to Mykonos for the first time, including myself, assume that the best place to stay in Mykonos is Mykonos town. But throughout the years, I actually learned and figured out for myself that Mykonos town is excellent for going there during the day or at night, but not necessarily for staying there. There are so many amazing accommodations that are spread out throughout the entire island. And one of the Mykonos tips, hacks that I've been using that I have for you is I usually look for a hotel that is on the property of the beach club, the popular beach club that everyone wants to get into. Because just think about it, you will go to that, or you will try to go to that beach club most likely anyway, but you will have to pay a lot, and of course also stand in line hoping that some of the sunbeds will be available. So instead of doing all that, you can book a hotel room. Yes, it's going to be expensive, but most of the sunbeds are already included in the rate. So this way you will enjoy the hotel, you will enjoy the sunbeds because the concierge of the hotel will usually hold those beds for you, and because sunbeds are going to be already included in your room rate, the price is going to be pretty much the same, and you won't have to get up super early to go and stand in line hoping to get a sunbed. Now, fabulous people, since we started talking about the reservations, there are a few things that you absolutely need to know about making reservations in Mykonos. As Mykonos Island is considered one of the best Greek islands and one of the most popular one among tourists, not locals, you absolutely need to have reservations far in advance, especially for July and August, and especially for the most popular places like Interni or Scorpios. For example, right now, and we're in July of 2024, depending on when you will be watching this video, if right now you will go to the Scorpios website and try to find one available spot for the months of August for lunch or dinner, or later on during the night for the lounge, I guarantee you, you will not find even one time slot available. They're gone. They're gone. Every single year I book a table in Scorpios at least 4 or 5 months in advance, and even then I already see a lot of dates already been booked. For example, this year for the months of June, I made a reservation, I believe in February or March. It's crazy, guys. It is insane. Another thing you need to know is that some of the most popular beach clubs like Nammos, they don't even take a reservation. So if you plan on going to one of the beaches in Mykonos with the most popular beach club, you have to get there extra early before they even open and wait in line. Or like I said in my previous tip that I shared with you, you can stay at the hotel of this beach club, and this way you will have guaranteed sunbeds. Now, fabulous people, if you don't want to deal with any of that and wish for someone to organize, plan, and book your entire trip to Greece, Mykonos included or not included, depending on your taste and preference, then I have a very exciting announcement for you. My fabulous Vita travel agency is expanding into Greece next year. So if you plan on traveling to Greece in 2025 and beyond and would like for us to take care of every single detail for you, as we've been doing for our clients in Italy for years, then we will be happy to organize the most joyful and memorable trip for you. And of course, I will make sure to leave you a link to my travel agency in the description down below. Now, as we talked about restaurants in Mykonos, another important thing for you to know is that you cannot stay at the restaurants in Mykonos for as long as you want, unfortunately. And it used to be the case in the past, but not anymore. The most popular restaurants on the island will give you a specific time slot for how long you can stay for lunch or dinner. For how long you can stay depends on the group size. Usually for a group of 2 to 3 people, you can stay up to 1 hour and a half. I know it's not that much, to be honest. And for a group of 4 people and above, it is 2 hours, regardless of the consumption. So they really don't care. You can order the entire restaurant and they will still ask you to leave as soon as your time is up. The next thing for us to discuss in this Mykonos travel guide is cash. Always have some cash on you. And it is not because they don't accept credit cards. As a matter of fact, you will find that most places throughout the entire Greece accept credit cards. And like I mentioned in my video, how to plan your first trip to Greece, if you haven't watched it, I will make sure to leave it for you in the description down below. They will even allow you to leave a tip on that card, which I know for most Americans, you guys are thinking, what's the big deal about it? But in most European countries, you're still not able to do that, like Italy, for example. But in Greece, you can. The reason why you always want to have some cash with you in Greece is because they will often be able to offer you a better deal, especially when it comes to transportation, if you pay with cash. It's just the fact. For example, when we were traveling from the Mykonos airport to the port, as soon as we sat down in a cab, the taxi driver told us, all right, guys, if you pay with cash, it's 10 euros less. So just so you know, fabulous people, have some cash on you. And the same goes even for the car rental places. A lot of family-owned small car rental places, if you rent from them and if you pay in cash, will be able to offer you an amazing deal. Just trust me on this one. And a lot of times they will even offer it to you themselves. Now, if this is going to be your first time in Mykonos, you are probably wondering, Anastasia, but will I need a car or a scooter in Mykonos? What if I just stay somewhere around Little Venice in Mykonos and then just take a bus to go to other places on the island? Fabulous people, I hear you. I was one of those people who thought it would be a good idea when I arrived to Greece many years ago, until I arrived and realized it was not a good idea. Thank God that summer we actually had friends with a car, so we were able to go to other places around the island, and this is how I realized how important it is to have some kind of form of transportation for the island. On any Greek island, everything is spread out. Restaurants, beaches, different sites, everything. So you will need either a car or scooter or any other form of transportation. Of course, your hotel can organize private transportation for you as well. But if you are craving more flexibility or you are on a budget, I recommend renting a car or a scooter to go to other places. Now, one of the things to do in Mykonos, besides of course partying, going to different beach clubs and restaurants, is to shop. Fabulous people, let me tell you, shopping in Mykonos is next level. I just have to mention it as a stylist and as someone who made numerous videos on shopping in Greece. So make sure to save some room in your suitcase, because the outfits you will find in Greece, you will not find anywhere else in the world. And I'm going to finish this Mykonos Greece vlog with 2 extra bonus tips, because I just have so much to share with you, fabulous. So the first tip has to do with the airport in Mykonos. Just so you know, the airport in Mykonos is actually quite small, so there is no reason for you to arrive 2 hours in advance. Of course, you have to calculate how much time it will take for you to get there, but arriving too far in advance, honestly, there is absolutely no need for it. Now, what was a pleasant surprise to me is that Mykonos airport actually has a lounge. So if you're looking for a more secluded place, a place maybe to relax before the flight, or even maybe get some work in, then you can head straight upstairs and enjoy the lounge. If you want to stay downstairs, be prepared for the fun to continue, as often you will find crowds continuing to party, dance, sing, and you might as well just participate, because let's be honest, Mykonos is the best fun party island after all. Now, if you've never been to Mykonos, you might be thinking, so is Mykonos worth it? If you haven't decided yet whether you should visit Mykonos, my answer is it depends on what type of a vacation you're looking for. Personally, the amount of days I spend on Mykonos each year is inversely related to how many trips I had around the sun. But I still love going there every year. Maybe because it's a habit, or maybe because Mykonos truly offers that fun, unique vibe that is hard to find anywhere else. But if you're looking for somewhere more relaxing, less busy and touristy, then don't forget that Mykonos is located just a quick ferry ride away from other Greek islands, just as stunning but more calm and secluded. Alright, fabulous people, thank you so much for watching this Mykonos guide. I truly hope that you found it useful and beneficial, and before you go and start packing for your trip to Greece, please remember to smack that like button. And if you're new to my channel and my vibe, and the vibe of this channel resonates with you, I invite you to subscribe. Have the most memorable summer yet. And as always, stay fabulous.